Hi everyone, it's Don and I hope you're having a fantastic day. Well, we have some news about a possible cyber attack on a cruise port and the airport in the same city. We have an update on trying to sneak drugs onto cruise ships, especially Carnival. Princess has announced their biggest ever Caribbean amount of destinations that they're planning, as well as, well, they're raising gratuity fees coming very, very soon. Then let's talk about what I would consider a pretty darn close call that Tony and I had with a volcano. So yesterday, August 24th, the Port of Seattle as well as the airport were hit with internet outages from various sectors, which they suspect is a possible cyber attack that was interfering with port security, ticket agents, as well as, check-ins for cruise ships, etc. The good news is for cruisers, it appears that it didn't really affect too many people, too much delay. They were able to isolate where the cyber attack was or the outages were and get them rebooted and up and running in time, that it really didn't affect too badly people getting on and off the ship. The Discovery Princess was set to sail yesterday for an Alaskan cruise, and I checked this morning, she's on her way. She's out on her way to Juneau, so that seems to be cleared up. As far as passengers for the airlines, they were warned that when you go to the airport, try and have your boarding passes on your app. So that way, if you get to the ticket agent and the ticket agent doesn't have access to print out your tickets or anything, you will have your boarding pass, which will make going on to the planes and through security so much faster for you. It will take less time. And that could go on for the next couple of days, out of Seattle Airport. It seems like they're got most of it fixed and the delays are not too bad, but just as a warning, if you're heading in and out of Seattle over the next couple of days, to keep an eye on that. Next, we have Carnival Cruise Line, and we always say, don't do things that can get you in trouble on cruise ships, right? Because the consequences could be dire, and as many people have discovered recently, Carnival is now employing drug dogs to sniff out any illicit substances on the cruise ships. And what they'll do is when they're delivering your suitcases and they leave them outside your cabin as you're waiting to go up to your cabin, etc., or when they're loading, well, they have those dogs walking up and down the corridors, sniffing those suitcases, and when they come across it, they will take those suitcases, confiscate them, bring them to security, and then call you down to security. And in some cases, people have been kicked off the ship and banned completely for trying to bring drugs on board, as simple as marijuana. So yes, it might be legal in your state, it might be legal in your country, it might be legal here. It's not legal on cruise ships. So please don't try and sneak it onto the cruise ships and think you're getting away with something because you can't go 7 days without it, because you're going to most likely get caught and most likely, possibly even kicked off and banned for life on those cruise ships. Next, let's talk about Princess Cruise Line, as they announced that they are going to have 2 ships in 2026 sailing in the Caribbean during the summer season, which they don't normally do. They only normally have 1. So the Caribbean Princess, the ship that Tony and I just went to Iceland on, well, she'll be there, as well as the Regal Princess, a Royal class ship, the second built in that class, will be also sailing. They said this is the first time in a long time that they're going to be able to offer Western, Eastern, and Southern Caribbean vacations during the 2026 season, with over 100 itineraries as they endeavor to do so on those 2 ships. So that's good news if you're looking for more variety from Princess in the Caribbean during the summer season in 2026. But what you probably might not like is that it looks like gratuities are going up. Gratuities, it seems, are growing up from $15 to $16 for the lower cabins, all the way up to ocean view and balcony. And then mini suites are going to go for another $1, and then suites can go as high as $19 per person per day, which means that on average the couple in a 7-day vacation will pay about $220 some for a 7-day cruise vacation in gratuities. Now, some people won't say this is a close call, but I'll say it is, because when you're talking about events, you know, like an earthquake or a meteor hitting or, you know, a volcano, these things don't happen every day, every second. These are rare occurrences. And so when you are very close to something like that, and close by just a matter of days, you begin to think a little bit about it, because Tony and I were in Iceland, and if you remember my Blue Lagoon video, I said this. So they warned us when we came in here that if we hear a siren to get out immediately and rush out, because the active volcano is scheduled to erupt and they don't know when. So we're listening for the siren, we're listening to the rain gods that are pouring down on us, but we're toasty warm in the Blue Lagoon. So that's right, they warned us about the sirens, and we kind of looked at each other and going, yeah, it is kind of freaky that I didn't realize the volcano was still active and they're expecting it to blow any day now. And well, just a couple days ago, it did blow. Literally a week after we got back from that trip, the volcano blew near the Blue Lagoon, within 2 kilometers of the Blue Lagoon. You say, well, it's 2 kilometers away. Well, let me tell you, the lava flow from the eruption traveled over 1 kilometer in the first 10 minutes of the eruption. That's how strong and powerful that was. Luckily, it spared the local town nearby. Over 1,000 people were evacuated from the Blue Lagoon area, and like people in the Blue Lagoon, people getting ready to go in the Blue Lagoon, people who were just leaving the Blue Lagoon, all those buses arriving, all had to be turned around and evacuated. No injuries were sustained by anybody there. The houses in the area have all been evacuated as well, while they wait for this volcano lava to slow down. Like when we were there, I mean, you could see the lava flows from the bus when we were driving, where it would go from gray to black, and black was like miles long. And it, you know, you think of little streams of lava going like this. This was not little streams. These are huge rivers of molten lava heading out, and we missed it by literally 2 weeks, where we would have been there had we been going this week on that cruise. Kind of a crazy thought, because the first thing that Tony and I thought of when we were hearing about volcanoes and everything, of course, in Iceland, was the volcano that happened in Australia and New Zealand when the passengers were on a shore excursion and a volcano erupted and surprised everybody, and a lot of people were injured for life and passed away. So that thought has always been in our head. Now, we weren't going up to the volcano or right near the volcano to visit the volcano, but we were close enough, when you think about it, that 2 kilometers and that lava in 10 minutes went 1 kilometer, which means it went half the distance to our location in 10 minutes. Kind of a crazy, freaky story. Let me know in the comments down below, have you ever just left an area or about to go to an area where something like this happens, like Hurricane Katrina? Were you just about to visit the area when that was about to happen? Or had you just left the area when the hurricane hit? Or a tornado rips through a town that you just drove through the day before? Something along those lines, things that make you pause and think just how close things could be. And when you're talking earthquake and volcano, things that happen like rarely, to miss it by only 10 days is a little bit freaky in my mind. Well, I hope you appreciate this update. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Want to see more tips, more tricks, more travel vlogs from around the world? Hit that subscribe button. Until next time, have yourself a safe and a great vacation.